we've got our Avian 60 amp smart speed control, and we're going to go through all the programming parameters and just see what they do and why they do things, and the how, what, when, where, and why. And I've got this guy right here, a smart speed control with a motor that we can use for testing. And we're going to go through number 2 on the programming list, and we'll see what the options are and what it does, and why would you change that second programming choice. Sit tight. If you want to win a jet like this, all you have to do is subscribe. Click the like button and leave a comment. And then ring the bell so you don't miss my next video. At 1,000 subscribers, we gave this jet away. At 5,000, we're going to give another one. I don't know what it is yet. We'll see when that time comes. So hey, subscribe guys. Happy flying. Hey YouTube. It's Sean, Griffin RC Planes. Our Avian smart speed controls for our radio controlled airplanes. So they're programmable. Just like everything, the smart technology just gives us more options, makes it sometimes more complicated, and sometimes a whole lot more fun. So in the last video of the seeing the who, what, when, and where, why of the programming of the speed controls, we just went on the very first one, aircraft type. Now we're going to look at number 2, and it's brake force. So let me get my demo plane to go with my demo motor and demo 60 amp smart Avian speed control. We'll put the IX12 up on the TV. We'll connect a smart battery, and then we'll get the programmer box out, and we'll go through each programming choice for number 2, and we'll set it to this way, and then we'll look at it in operation and the telemetry and all that, and then we'll change it and then look at it again. That'll give us something to do for a little while. All right, sit tight. All right there, YouTube. We've got the IX12 on the TV. We've got our demo motor, our demo smart Avian speed control, a 60 amp. Got my demo plane. We just have it set up so that we can run the transmitter through the receiver. And let's go ahead and bind it up, and we'll just see it in action real fast. Alrighty. And we got throttle, and you can see on the TV there that when I give it throttle, right where it says throttle 1, the timer starts going a little bit. We'll go on over to the telemetry real quickie, and we can see receiver voltage 6 volts, and the temperature of our speed control, and the RPMs are 0. And as I give it some throttle, you can see the RPMs going and the motor current being drawn out and all that stuff. In our first video, as we're learning about the settings of the speed control where we can custom program them, the first is the aircraft type. You can pick a fixed wing airplane or a helicopter. The second choice is the brake type. If you go with the default settings for fixed wing, the brake type is disabled. But for our programming and our video sake, we're going to choose helicopter, and then we'll look and see what the 2 different choices of the brake type is. We have a choice of normal or proportional. So we'll check that out. So the first thing we need to do is to get into the programming menu. We can use our programming box, or we can program it directly from the transmitter. And you can see on the screen there that I have rolled the scroll wheel on your DX6, 8, or 9 all the way over until you see this Avian prog menu. If you don't see this menu in your transmitter, then your transmitter needs to be updated. The software is behind. It's just like a smartphone or your home computer. They receive updates periodically. So you need to make sure you go to Spectrum's website and register your transmitter, and then you can see if it needs an update. If you're using one of the NX transmitter lineups, then you can receive your transmitter directly from using the Wi-Fi, in the transmitter. So we're in the Avian Prog, and in order to do that, you can see step 1 says low throttle, up elevator, and left aileron. But your throws need to be at 100%. So if you have safe select, make sure safe select is turned off. Your dual rates need to be at 100% or more on those channels. So I'm turning my dual rates up, and I'm going to unplug the speed control, and when I plug it back up, as soon as you get done hearing the beeps of the cell count of the battery, that is when you immediately do step 1, low throttle, up elevator, left aileron, which is like that, and you hold that until we see step 2. If you wait too long to start this process, then you'll miss it and the system will time out and you have to start over. So we're unplugging our airplane. We're still in the Avian Prog menu, plugging it up. All right, watch the TV, low throttle, up elevator. See, step 2, up elevator, right aileron. And I might be in a, I might have a dual rate for the right aileron not set up. So let's check that out real quick. Model adjust, dual rate and expo. Everything looks like it's set to 100. Let's look at my right aileron. That thing's all the way. So let's try it again. Avian Prog, I'm going to unplug it, and it'll go back to step 1 once it sees that it's unplugged. At least it should. We'll go somewhere else, and then we'll go back to that. We'll plug it up and see if it goes to step 1. Yes. Okay. I'm just going to do it like this. Both sticks down to each other. All right, step 2. Up elevator right aileron. All right, maybe my trim is off or something. Let's go back here. Let's go to the monitor. Right aileron goes to 100. Left aileron goes to 100. Elevator. I know what we need to do real quick. We need to change our model type. Okay, that brings up a good point. In a previous video, we were playing around with different wing types, and I had it set on something other than a normal wing and a normal tail. So therefore, it wasn't seeing 100% of the right aileron. So that's something for you to keep in mind on your particular situation. So we're going to try it again. We'll get over here to the Avian Prog, unplug it, and plug it back in. All right. Step 2. Now we have the programming menu directly on the screen of your transmitter. The first choice is flight mode. Do you have a fixed wing or the helicopter? Heli or the fixed wing? We're going to do brake type. Now, in the fixed wing, it says disabled. So we're going to go back and choose the helicopter. And we have brake type normal or proportional or reverse or disabled. Back to normal. Now let's check and see if we did choose the fixed wing and see what the brake type looks like. Because in the quick programming card it's disabled. However, I think thrust reverse came out after this programming card was written. So, fixed wing, brake type, normal. We're going to go down and save the settings. See all the different choices we're going through? And save it. Okay, so let's look at our motor here. And we have it set up for the normal braking. So when I let off the throttle, it just coasts to a stop, and I can freewheel it. So let's see what the other choice is. Let's unplug it and plug her back in. We'll go back into the Avian prog menu. Up elevator, left aileron. Up elevator, right aileron. Okay, we're going to go down to brake type, back up to brake type, and we're going to choose the proportional, and then we just need to save it. And save. Alright, so let's look at our motor here. And there's no difference because we're in fixed wing. So let's change it to a helicopter. We'll unplug it again. Plug it back. All right. Okay. Flight mode. Heli. Brake type. Normal. Let's save it. And save. Alright, so let's give it some throttle. and nothing is happening. And that might be because the transmitter is set to a fixed wing and it's not set up for helicopter. That's a possibility. So for quick settings, I'll use the program box here, and we are in heli, normal braking, proportional. We'll save that. There's still no throttle for the proportional. I'll go back to the next choice. Brake. Reverse. Now let's go back real quick to brake type. Choose normal and let me hit save. And it says data saved. Let's unplug it and plug it back in just to double, triple check, verify. In she goes. And nothing's happening. So if you got fixed wing set up in your transmitter, you can't use the helicopter mode. It just won't do it. We'll try one last brake type. We'll try the proportional, save, and nothing. Let's go back and change it to a fixed wing. Fixed wing, save, brake type, disabled, save, and then we'll unplug it and plug it back in. So, number 2 in programming your Avian Smart Speed Control, brake type, it's clear to me that if your transmitter is not set up for a helicopter, or you're not using the other settings for the helicopter, that it's just not going to work for aircraft. I'll give you guys a shot of this programming card here directly. Okay guys, hey, that was fun. The next time we will check out brake force and then the voltage cutoff. So here's our programming card, and you can see in the black the black boxes right here how it says disabled, disabled. If you choose aircraft type, all the default settings are the black boxes. So disabled, disabled, soft, 3.2 volt, etc. So you've got to be a helicopter guy in order to use the brake type like that. In airplanes, we have thrust reverse, and there's some brake settings in there as well that we'll get to when we move on down the list. Okay guys, hey, that's all I got for this one. So thank you very much. Hey, the YouTube algorithm needs to see that you guys like me, and then the YouTube algorithm will put me in front of other people. So the thumbs up, the like, leaving a comment, making sure you're subscribed. Like 200 and something people have unsubscribed in the past few months. So see if you're still subscribed. And then do this guy right here. Ring the notification bell so you don't miss my next video. And that's the best way to support what I do. And buy some touch-up paint. Alright guys, hey, thank you so much. And happy flying. And until next time, you'll see me here.